music. You know, life moves fast, sometimes too fast. And in all that noise, all that motion, we forget the quiet miracles standing right beside us. The kind of miracles that don't shout, they whisper. And today, I want to speak from that place, the quiet, honest part of the heart. This song, these words, this moment, it's for you, because you've been the light that stayed when the world dimmed. You've been the warmth I held on to when my soul felt cold. And if I can give you anything today, even for a few minutes, I want to give you a reminder you are loved profoundly, endlessly, beautifully. So take a breath with me, let the world slow down, and let these words wrap around you like the softest embrace. This song is for you, my love, because you deserve to hear it, my love. Before I speak, I want to take a moment just to feel this air between us, to feel the way the world seems to slow down whenever it's just you and me. You know, there are moments in my life when I realize that the things I cherish the most don't make noise, they don't ask for attention, and they don't fight to be seen. They simply exist with a kind of quiet grace. And you are one of those rare things. You carry a softness wrapped in strength, a light wrapped in warmth, and a presence wrapped in peace. And sometimes I think that if people listened carefully to your silence, they would hear something more beautiful than any music ever written. That's why this song is only for you, my love, because you are the place where my heart rests. There were days before you when I felt like life was a long, uneven road, and I was walking without knowing where to set my feet. I was moving, but not truly living, breathing, but not truly feeling. And then there was you. You appeared not with fireworks, not with thunder, but with the softest presence, like when a song begins before you even notice the first note. You filled the quiet spaces of my days, and suddenly, everything felt different. Suddenly, I had something worth slowing down for, something worth holding on to, something worth singing for. If I could open my chest and let you see how my heart beats whenever your name crosses my mind, I would. If I could take every unspoken feeling, every gentle gratitude, every quiet admiration, and shape them into melodies, I would. Because you deserve to know how deeply you are loved. Not because of anything huge, not because of grand gestures or dramatic moments, but because of the little things you do without even realizing it. The way you smile softly when you're trying not to. The way your eyes brighten when you talk about something you care about. The way your presence makes the world feel less heavy. Those things, they stay with me. They stay like the familiar hum of a song I never grow tired of. And that's why this song is only for you. Because you are not noise, you are meaning. You are not chaos, you are clarity. You are not just someone in the crowd. You are the one who changed the way my heart hears the world. There are people who walk into our lives and teach us about love through lessons, through heartbreaks, through storms. But you teach me about love through gentleness, through patience, through kindness. You teach me that love doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it rests quietly on the soul like sunlight on a morning window. And sometimes love is simply choosing to stay, even when the world gives you 1,000 reasons to walk away. You stay. You remain. And I feel that every day. I want you to know that. When I say this song is only for you, I don't mean it in some poetic, distant way. I mean it in the most honest, human way. I mean that the words forming inside me, slowly, sincerely, they are shaped by your existence. They carry traces of the way you've touched my life. They carry reflections of the way your presence has softened my edges and brought comfort to my restless nights. They carry the warmth of the moments when your love felt like shelter, like calm after a storm I didn't know I was fighting. You know, love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the feeling of someone remembering the small details about you. Sometimes it's the way they look at you as if they're trying to memorize your existence. Sometimes it's the way they make space for your fears, not to fix them, but simply to hold them with you. That's what you do. You make space. You make room for me. Not the polished version, not the strong version, not the perfect version, but the real one. And that is a gift I will never take for granted. This song is only for you because you are the person who turned love from a word into a feeling again. Because before you, love felt like something written in the margins of other people's stories, something distant, something fragile. But when you came into my life, love became something warm, something steady, something that felt like home. And for the first time in a long time, I realized that love doesn't have to be complicated to be real. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be powerful. Sometimes the most powerful love is simply the kind that stays. I want to share something with you, not as a quote, not as a lesson, but as a truth I've come to understand. There are people who bring light into your life, but there are also people who are the light itself. And You are the latter. You're the type of person who doesn't even realize how much brightness they carry. You shine without trying to. You heal without intending to. You inspire without forcing anything. You simply live, and somehow your existence becomes a melody that comforts the hearts around you. That's why this song is only for you, because you are the music I never expected, the harmony I didn't know I needed, the sound that made silence feel alive. Sometimes I look at you and I'm overwhelmed by the quiet beauty of who you are. Not beauty in the way the world defines it, not the kind that fades, not the kind measured by perfection, but the kind of beauty that comes from being genuine, from being kind, from being willing to love in a world that often forgets how. You love with a gentleness that feels rare, with a sincerity that feels healing, with a depth that feels safe. And that kind of love, it deserves a song made not of instruments or melodies, but of truth, of gratitude, of devotion. There are moments when I wish you could see yourself the way I see you, because if you did, even for a moment, you would understand why this song could never be for anyone else. You would understand why your presence changes the way I breathe, why your laughter feels like the spark that wakes up something inside me, why your warmth feels like the kind of comfort I didn't know how to ask for. You would understand why I hold you in my heart with so much tenderness. Sometimes, when the world feels heavy and the noise becomes too much, I find myself returning to the thought of you. Not because I need distraction, but because thinking of you feels like remembering who I am when everything else fades away. You remind me of gentleness in a world that moves too fast. You remind me of war, myth in moments that feel cold. You remind me of the beauty in simply being present. And I want you to know that your presence is enough. More than enough. It's a gift to my soul. This song is only for you, my love, because you are the one who made me believe in softness again. You made me believe in connection that doesn't demand, but invites. In love that doesn't consume, but completes. In vulnerability that doesn't weaken, but frees. You gave me a safe place to rest my heart, and for that, I will always be grateful. If I could hold your hand right now and let you feel the way my pulse changes with your touch, I would. If I could gather every moment you've ever comforted me, in words and silence and presence, and place them in front of you, you would see why this song belongs to you. You are not just someone in my life, you are the reason certain parts of me began to heal. You are the reason the world feels less lonely. You are the reason my heart found its rhythm again. When I speak these words, I'm not trying to impress you or overwhelm you. I'm simply trying to honor the truth that you are loved in a way that is deep, calm, steady, and real. The truth that you are the melody my soul chooses again and again. The truth that even if I searched the world for inspiration, I would still return to you. Because no song, no poem, no expression holds meaning if it isn't shaped by the heart that understands it. And you understand mine. Your love is not something I ever want to take for granted. It is the kind of love that softens storms, that eases worries, that lights up the darkest corners. It is the kind of love that makes me want to be better, gentler, more present. And this song, these words, they are my attempt to give back even a fraction of the warmth you've given me. There are days when I find myself thinking about the future, and no matter how the details blur, there's one thing that remains constant: you, the thought of you, the presence of you, the comfort of knowing that wherever life takes us, the love between us carries a strength that feels enduring. And that strength deserves to be honored with something heartfelt, something sincere, something that belongs to you alone. This song is that offering. You know, love is not just about grand declarations. Sometimes it's about the quiet promise that says, I'm here, I'm with you, I'm choosing you. And every time I think of you, that promise grows. This song is my way of whispering that promise, my way of letting you know that your love has changed my world in ways you may never fully understand, but ways I will always feel. And when I say this song is only for you, I mean it with every part of me. Because you are not a chapter, you are the story. You are not a passing moment, you are the meaning behind the moments. You are not a temporary presence, you are the home my heart keeps coming back to. And this song, it's the sound of that home. My love, before I begin, I want to breathe for a moment and let my heart settle into the truth of what I'm about to say. Sometimes the things we feel the deepest are also the quietest, like they live in some hidden room inside us, waiting for the right moment to be spoken. And tonight, in this space between your heartbeat and mine, I want to open that room and let its light spill out. I want to speak to you from a place that is unpolished, unguarded, untouched by fear. I want to speak to you the way the soul speaks when it finally stops running from itself. Because this song, this feeling, this love, it's only for you. Not borrowed, not recycled, not shaped by anyone else. Just for you. You know, there's something almost miraculous about the way a single person can shift the weight of the world inside you without even trying. How a single smile, a single glance, a single moment with them can rearrange the shadows of your life into something gentler, something kinder, something that doesn't hurt to carry anymore. That's what you did for me. You didn't fix anything with force or loudness. You didn't demand I change or pretend or rise to expectations I couldn't reach. You just existed, softly, honestly, quietly, and somehow that was enough to make everything in me begin to breathe again. It's strange how someone can walk into your world without any announcement and still feel like the answer to a question you didn't know you were asking. Every time I look at you, I find something new to love, something small, something subtle, something you probably don't even realize about yourself, like the way your eyes soften when you're lost in thought, or the way your voice lowers when you speak from the heart, or the way you pause before saying something important, as if you're choosing words that won't cause harm. There's a gentleness in you that feels like a shelter, a calm honesty that feels like a truth my soul has been waiting for. And every moment with you reminds me that love doesn't have to be loud to be real. It doesn't have to shout to be heard. Sometimes it sounds like whispering. Sometimes it sounds like breathing. Sometimes it sounds like this: a heart speaking softly to the one it longs for. If you asked me when I first realized that my love belonged to you, I wouldn't be able to give you a single moment. Because it wasn't sudden. It wasn't lightning. It wasn't some dramatic spark. It was gradual, like sunrise. Slow enough to miss if you weren't paying attention, but strong enough to change everything once it fully arrived. You became light without trying to be light. You became home without asking to be home. And slowly, quietly, beautifully, my heart began to choose you in every moment where choice existed. This song is only for you because there are things I can say in this space that I can't say anywhere else. Not because the words don't exist, but because they feel different when they're meant for someone who truly sees you. Someone who listens, not just with ears, but with understanding. Someone who takes the weight of your honesty and holds it gently, like it's something precious. You are that someone for me. And when I speak to you, my words soften, my fears loosen, my truth feels safe. You make the parts of me that used to hide step into the light, not because you asked them to, but because they trust you. There were times in my life when love felt like something fragile, something temporary, something that could disappear the moment things became difficult. But with you, love feels different. It feels steady, grounded, alive. It feels like a presence instead of a promise, something real instead of something imagined. You weren't the first person I've cared about, but you're the first person whose love feels like a place I can stay without losing myself. You don't ask me to shrink or stretch or bend into shapes that fit someone else's expectations. You let me be. You let me breathe. And somehow, because of that, I've become someone braver, someone softer, someone happier than I ever expected. When I say this song is only for you, I mean that every word is shaped by the way you've touched my life, by the way you've looked at me with compassion when I felt undeserving, by the way you've listened to my silences as if they were important, by the way you've held space for the parts of me that I thought were too messy to share. You've taught me that love isn't just about holding someone's best parts, it's about staying with them through the moments they feel most breakable. And you've stayed with me in ways I never thought anyone would. There are days when the world feels heavy, when responsibilities and fears pile up until it feels impossible to carry them alone. But then I think of you. I think of your voice, your presence, your warmth, and suddenly the weight shifts, not because you take it away, but because you make it lighter just by being someone I can lean into. You don't rescue me. You remind me that I'm not alone. And that reminder is more healing than anything else. I wish you could see yourself the way I see you, the way the world becomes softer around you, the way kindness flows from you so naturally, the way your heart shines in ways you underestimate. You have a beauty that isn't loud or flashy. It's the kind that grows deeper the more someone learns you. It's the kind of beauty that reveals itself, not instantly, but endlessly. You are the kind of person whose heart becomes more breathtaking the longer someone stays. And I want to stay. Not because I have to, not because I'm afraid of being alone, but because every part of me chooses you with a clarity that feels like truth. This song is only for you because you're the only one who moved me in this way. You're the only one whose presence rewrote the rhythm of my days. You're the only one whose love feels like a sanctuary instead of a storm. When I speak to you, my heart doesn't race with fear, it opens with trust. When I'm near you, I don't feel the need to pretend, I simply exist. And somehow, that's enough. You make enough feel like everything. There's something rare about the way you love. It's patient, gentle, steady. It's the kind of love that doesn't demand but invites, the kind that doesn't overwhelm but nurtures, the kind that doesn't confuse but clarifies. You love like someone who understands the value of hearts, and being loved by you feels like being seen in a way that is both comforting and transformative. You make me want to be softer without fearing vulnerability. You make me want to give without fearing loss. You make me want to trust without fearing the fall. Every moment with you feels like a small miracle. The way you hold your thoughts before speaking, like you want to offer something meaningful. The way your smile rises slowly as if it carries sincerity instead of performance. The way you reach out, not always physically but emotionally, to let me know I'm not drifting alone. These are the moments that stay with me. These are the moments that make me love you deeper, stronger, more honestly than I ever expected to love anyone. This song is only for you because your presence has changed me, not by force, not by pressure, but by influence, by being who you are. You've shown me that love doesn't have to hurt to be real, that it doesn't have to break to be powerful, that it doesn't have to shake the earth to move the heart. Sometimes love is quiet, sometimes it's peaceful, sometimes it's a gentle hand resting in the dark, assuring you that you're not alone. Sometimes it's the warmth of someone who stays even when life becomes messy. You've shown me that love can feel like coming home after being lost for years. If I could take every emotion you've stirred in me, every tenderness, every gratitude, every quiet moment of awe, and turn it into music, I would. This song is my AT to do that, to gather all the unspoken things inside me and give them a voice, to let you hear what you make me feel, to show you that your love has become a melody that echoes inside me in ways I can't ignore. You're not just part of my life, you're part of my heart's rhythm. And as I speak these words, I want you to know that they come from a place untouched by doubt. They come from a place in me that feels more honest than anything else. They come from the part of me that recognizes your soul, not just your presence. The part that understands you in ways I can't fully explain. The part that returns to you again and again without hesitation. My love, this song is only for you because you are the one who turned my quiet into music. You are the one who took the scattered pieces of my heart and gave them rhythm again. You are the one whose love feels like a truth I can rest in, breathe in, grow in. And I want to keep giving you every part of me that you've helped heal, every part of me that trusts you, every part of me that loves you in ways deeper than words can speak.